Yesterday on the channel, we covered some of the cringeworthy things that won the Hugo Awards. And I'm going to show you conclusively at this point that this is just insider trading at this point. It's likely just people working at these companies who are voting for their own books that they work on, and it's a coordinated effort from, of course, behind those closed doors. And this doesn't represent anything of fandom at this point. Their whole way they do this is just really bizarre. You don't have a straight-up vote of what you want. And I'll show you how that works as well because it's very confusing. But these are the Hugo Awards this year, and they actually post their voting statistics. And what we're going to get into is pretty much nobody's voting at this juncture, which is a good thing in some ways. And I'm going to explain that towards the end of the video, how I'm optimistic, and I'm hoping you'll join our community here because there's very, very important things going on. And there's two things I want you to do, my friends, to like help the community. Or actually, there's three things. And I know it's a lot to ask at the beginning of a video, but if you're new here, stick with me because I'm building a movement of different things in science fiction and fantasy with independence as the goal. This is my newsletter. I want you to sign up so I don't lose you because I never know if I'm going to find you again. This algorithm here on YouTube is very, very wonky, and we can talk about whatever, and you never know. That's really what happens. And so please sign up here. You get 3 free books, a sci-fi book, a fantasy book, and a full graphic novel just for signing up, which is in the description below. Thank you guys so much. And if you want to start reading right now, I recommend my Stars Entwined. This is my space opera series. Beautiful stuff. I have a new book coming out this year that will not win the Hugo Award next year, but it is going to be better than anything on the Hugo ballot. Number one, it is actual science fiction, which is something that they don't actually have in Worldcon anymore. But yes, this is my series. It starts here. My universe is here. There's a great place to start going. It's a trilogy, and so you can check it all out on ebook, print, and audio to make it easy for you. That's in the description below. Thanks for supporting our channel and our artistic efforts. Like I said, newsletter first, then this, and then I've got a Discord also where we have a lot of cool people who hang out. I want you to hang out and, of course, chat science fiction with us and be part of the community because we're going to build something, and I'll get to that at the end of this video here. So this is the 2025 Hugo Award voting statistics. As you can see, here's the list of winners. We covered a few of them yesterday. The Tainted Cup, which is a lesbian Sherlock Holmes in a fantasy world. Yay. I skipped all the short stories and stuff, but you know, we can deal with that later. Best series won by Rebecca Roanhorse. And you can tell Brandon Sanderson was very disappointed that his Stormlight Archive did not get that. He made a post about it on X, actually, being like, I'm disappointed, but congratulations. And it's like, he pulled out the stops to try to get a Hugo Award for it by pushing extreme LGBTQ content into the latest Stormlight Archive book. If you're not aware of it, I've got videos on it on the channel. You can check that out. But yes, it didn't work. Didn't get him the award. Womp womp on that level. Now, this is crazy here. Star Trek Lower Decks, Warp Your Own Way. This is by IDW Publications, and this is like a choose-your-own-adventure comic. It was cute. It was fun. It was certainly not the best sci-fi comic of the year. It was not that interesting or that good. This is like a level of a 10-year-old, so it is not worthy of a Hugo Award. But again, I'm going to show you that like there's not enough people voting in this. There's industry contacts in here that all voted on it in unison, and it's not people who are actually paying attention or checking this sort of thing out. Best related work, we covered this yesterday: speculative whiteness, science fiction, and the alt-right. Yes, that's a showstopper right there. And so Lower Decks also won a short-form dramatic presentation. It was all like 2 Lower Decks episodes, 2 Doctor Who episodes, and a Fallout episode or whatever. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they really were. Why didn't they do 3 Body Problem? I mean, 3. It just goes to show it's like the lowest common denominator for these type of things where they just don't. If I don't even know what 3 Body Problem is, but I've heard of Star Trek, so they check it because it says the new next generation. So that hit the member berries. I'm sure most people who voted for it didn't even watch it. And so game or interactive work, a very weird one here. But yes, Dragon Age: The Veilguard was second. Oh, joy on that. And then you get the magazines, which are these are big clout chasing sort of things here. Black Nerd Problems, something that nobody reads. I mean, but it says black in it, so of course they had to go for that. And there it is. Now, this is the Hugo Awards, and let's get into the voting. And so they talk about this right here, that The following tables, each category and each leader of each round is counting and shown in bold and eliminates finalists in red. Each category has a runoff vote, and it's conducted between the winner and no award to determine if the winner has a majority acceptance. Now, these are the categories that people voted no award in the most. There was one year because and it's industry insiders, like I said. Fans actually got in and voted for stuff like Jim Butcher, stuff, Dresden Files, stuff people actually read. And they voted no award in unison in that year to try to make sure that normal people could not actually get their votes in, because they want this to be an industry insider award only at this point. Now, the highest deal was Best Editor Long Form was no award at 5%. And so normally no award doesn't really get anywhere. It's just when it had to be a political thing for them to do this and try to rig the awards at that point to get normal people out. And they did. That was where it was at. So some categories are more popular voters than others. 80% of voters voted for Best Novel. This is the only one most people care about in terms of Hugo Awards. And then, of course, novella, short story, and dramatic presentation also had about 70% of voters. Then you get down into editors and fanzines and things like that. You're seeing that like 25-30% of people who have voted actually only voted in that. So these ones are very easy to game for these companies that are in there at this deal. Now, what I'm going to show you is how this confusing voting works, because you're going to look at this and go, what the heck right here if you're looking at this table. But you see the Tinny Cup had 470 votes. Well, what happens is it goes on, and then it looks at the end of the category, and whoever's the lowest at that point gets their votes removed. And no award gets removed first, so that it is something, as you can tell, doesn't change the votes. In the next one, so what happens is the 197 people who voted for service model, because it's the lowest in the round, gets axed out, and then the people of those ballots who had their second choice then get distributed among the votes up above. So you could see that the second choice of the people who voted for service model were distributed fairly evenly to the other nominees right there who actually did that. And then, of course, Ministry of Time as the next one. Those votes then go to their second choice to get distributed. Then someone you could build a nest in, their votes get distributed, et cetera, until you have a runoff between the two that were it. And so, and that's it. And so it's very confusing and makes it kind of difficult at this level to even understand how that works. But if you do the math here for all the votes that were there, you're looking at a number of 1,280 votes for the Hugo Award for Best Novel. That's 1,280 people made the decision for this novel. Wow, that's pretty wild at that level, right? And that's a little less than the other categories. You can see that first it goes 1,400. It's about almost 1,500 votes for all the categories. But then no award as second choice then is it at that point. And then people who drop that off and don't have no award on their ballot then get dropped off completely as well. So that's what happens at that point is you're looking at 1,500 people max who are determining the best novel for this sort of thing. Well, I don't know how many employees Macmillan as a company has that owns Tor Books, but hey, that's quite a bit right there. Del Rey is a big publisher and all that, and Simon & Schuster is a big publisher and all that. You know, if they send 100, 200 people to the event to vote for their deal or just give them memberships or whatever, that's it. And then they can team up with other organizations that have memberships, and you can get 470 votes pretty easily from just insiders. You don't actually have to have fans at this level. You can see this is all the way through. This one right here has less votes as a best novella, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, and 1,000, and about 1,100 voted for best novella. But then you get into these other categories, like I was saying. Once you get into best graphic story or comic, you're looking at around 700 votes for the Star Trek Lower Decks. That's it, 263 people. That might all be IDW Comics employees or people who work for Paramount for Star Trek just trying to game this. There might not be a real person who read this whatsoever. Now, I mean, if you look at the other stuff, it's going to be obvious, like why Star Trek won, right? Because Deep Dark, Monstrous, we called them giants. My favorite thing is Monsters, The Hunger and Dusk. Those are like kind of indie books that like I've not heard of a single one of those except for Monstrous. And Monstrous usually wins pretty like every year for this for whatever reason with this crowd. But at the same time, like Star Trek's the only name brand on here. So you saw that the name brand won with 263 votes. It's that simple. And so this is a very gameable award at this juncture. Now, you do have to buy a membership that's like $50-$60 to get in on this. And that's why I said I'm pretty sure only insiders who work for the industry voted on this whatsoever. And look at this one right here. The speculative whiteness didn't even get first-round votes of a favorite here. The spectacular failure of the Star Wars Hotel was the one that actually won, but it didn't win. It came in third, right? Because this was what everybody voted for, because Star Wars, again, it's just the brand. There's not enough people who even know what these are, and a lot of people just voted just because of the brand name at this juncture. But then they went and virtue signaled after this because the alt-right, that's just a brand name. Nobody read this. It's got 24 reviews on Amazon. It had a runoff of 535 people, but there's no way these 535 people read that. I tried to read a page of it, and it was insufferable. So, again, you're looking at something where a handful of votes took care of this entire thing. And that's it. All the way across the board, not many people are voting on any of this stuff. Look at it, even with the TV shows. Star Trek, Agatha All Along was the first choice in the vote here. That's what they were voting for. I guess there's Disney shows working here, but that still didn't win because Lower Decks just got there a little more, even though they were splitting votes between Lower Decks episodes. Just had a little bit more of a brand name. Dragon Age: The Veilguard almost won based on what? Brand name. Very, very interesting stuff on this level for the Hugo Award, and there's just not a lot of people voting. And that's the main deal here. We'll go into the Black Nerd Problems here. Look at how 122 people voted for Black Nerd Problems on this. And this is something, again, my Discord has more people in this. And this is what I want to talk about as a result of this. These awards are being chosen by very, very few people. And the thing is, like, they only matter for one reason, is that once you have this kind of award, you can market off of it. I am a Dragon Award nominated author. I've won the CLFA award, and I've won the N3F award for my science fiction. It sounds really impressive, right? And so what that does is it gives a credential that makes people realize, okay, other people read this book and enjoyed it. And that's actually almost all of what marketing is. I'm actually an MBA major, and so marketing is a big background for me, and I know exactly how that all works on a sort of consumer level. It's social proof is the most important thing in marketing. So that's why reviews are very, very important. I always tell people, please leave reviews on the books. I've got quite a few on this one. But usually less than 2% of people who read the books actually leave a review or a rating on Amazon. I've got several that I'm trying to of course, get up the review rankings as well. But here's the deal. That works. Award stuff works. What it does is it'll give you a small boost in sales. So if you look at the winner of the best novel, for example, right now, which is, I forgot the name of it, The Tainted something, The Taint, The Tainted Cup, The Tainted Cup. If you look at it right now on Amazon, because it won its Hugo Award, what's happening right now with the rankings? It's gone up pretty high in the rankings because people are paying attention to it because all the websites are saying it won the Hugo Awards. Some people are checking it out. And that's exactly what it does. It's just a marketing thing. And so, guys, what I want to do globally with all this is there are a lot of awards that get even less votes than the Hugo Awards and that you don't even have to pay for to sign up. And what I'm doing with my Discord and my newsletter is I'm actually making slates where I say, here's what we should vote for these things. And not just helping myself, but helping other independent authors as well, so that we can build a movement that actually transcends this with independent writing that's far better than these corporations. So that's why at the beginning of this video, I told you guys what the first steps are on this. Right now, award season's pretty much done for the year. We're going to have to start this up again next year. We did try a little bit on some awards this year, and we unfortunately was not able to get everybody organized, but that's the difference between what these folk do in this and what we're doing right now is they're very, very organized. If we organize in the same way, if you hang out in the Discord, if you become part of the community, if you become on the newsletter, and we all vote together and actually do this, we can actually transform the culture with this stuff. It's a real deal. And then, of course, that helps all these books sell and get eyeballs on them. Very important stuff. So that's kind of my goal for the future out of this. Like, there's always something positive to come out of this. Not many people are voting in the Hugo Awards. It's a small thing. It's a niche thing. And we have an opportunity to really change the future in science fiction, fantasy, and comic books, my friends. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Please sign up for the newsletter in the description below. It's for free. That way you stay in touch. When I do my initiatives here, you'll be the first to see them. Grab my book, The Stars Entwined. Start here. It's a great place to read. You're going to enjoy this. And join the Discord and join our community. Thanks for being here, guys, and I hope this was an interesting video. See you.